Welcome to the Powerline Podcast, the official podcast of GreyStone Power. I'm your host, Adam Elrod. On this month's episode, we're talking to our artist performing at our annual meeting of members this year, and he'll be a familiar voice to many in our service area, American Idol alumni Caleb Lee Hutchinson. So let's jump right on in to episode number 26 of the Powerline Podcast. This month, we're talking to the artist performing at GreyStone's annual meeting of members, Paulding County's own Caleb Lee Hutchinson. Caleb, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Members probably remember your time on American Idol. What have you been up to since your season?
Man, it's like 4 years now. And it's pretty well just been 4 years of touring, and I put out 2 projects, currently working on a third. Moved to Nashville. It's been a ride. Feels like a lifetime already. I feel old.
I remember your season. I watched a lot, voted as well. I remember the time you came actually in to your hometown. What was it like to come back and play in front of your own community?
Um, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it was surreal because it was the first time that first time being outside of the bubble and seeing that, like, oh, people are actually watching this. But man, it was like, that's the most tired I've ever been, because it's at the end of all that craziness, and they pretty well like fly you overnight, and it was overwhelming. I loved seeing everybody, but I would have settled for a nap because I was running on maybe 3 hours of sleep, and I'm already like blind as a bat. And all of a sudden, there's like a crowd of people, and I was like, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave.
That makes sense, especially with it being a hometown crowd.
Mm.
Kind of staying in that same vein, performing at GreyStone's annual meeting this year. How does it feel to be able to come back and perform in front of a hometown crowd again?
Man, it's cool. It's cool to just anytime I get to go home, I'm happy, because if I had it my way, I'd probably just live with my mommy forever. But unfortunately, they raised me to have aspirations for some reason. But no, it's always great. I mean, home's my favorite place to be, and them Georgia folk ain't half bad, especially in Paulding County. So it'd be all right.
There you go. You went through, like you said, the craziness of American Idol. How did it feel to take part in a show that has elevated so many musical artists over the years?
I mean, it was cool. Kind of, I didn't really look at it in any sort of way. It was really just, I graduated high school and just didn't know what to do with my life. Knew I wanted to do music, but had no like clear path. So I auditioned for Idol as kind of a last minute thing, just a why not. And I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about it, honestly. It just felt like church camp or something, but less church and more singing.
That's awesome. And you already talked about you've been writing and performing since your time on the show. What's that process been like for you?
It's been wild. Like it's the reality of coming off one of those things, one of those shows, and doing this it's very different. But I think, like, in a way, it's been kind of jarring, just because I've sort of had to start over in a way, and then in some ways not. But it's been great. I mean, it's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. So I feel incredibly lucky and blessed, and it's been great.
Now, from what I've been told, you grew up on GreyStone's line. So would you mind sharing a couple of fond memories from your time in Paulding County?
I'm a Paulding County boy, born and raised. It's kind of hard to pick one thing. I mean, my whole life is a Paulding County memory. Man, I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot of fishing. I've ate a lot of food, got a lot of food there. It's hard to pick. My whole life, my whole childhood, you know.
Hey, I understand that. Childhood is a fond memory in and of itself. So I ask every podcast guest the same exact last question. And this is a little different for us. Normally it's fully GreyStone related, but we didn't want to miss an opportunity to talk to you, especially coming and performing at the annual meeting.
Mhm.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell our members?
Um, I would tell them, hello, how are you? And also, I have a podcast that's coming out
Hey, there you go.
very soon, so they can check that out. And then also, I should be dropping a couple more singles this year. Um, just don't sleep on your boy. That's all I got to say. It's happening.
There you go. So plug right there. Make sure you listen to Caleb's podcast. Make sure you go download his singles, Amazon Music, I'm guessing, Apple Music probably,
All the thing.
everything. So make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you come and watch him at annual meeting. So come cheer him on and, definitely be a part. And any other plugs? No, like I said, normally it's Greystone employees. So, definitely want to give you an opportunity to plug anything else if you got something.
Uh, my latest project is called Slot Machine Syndrome. It was produced by Brent Cobb, who's also from Georgia, just in the swampy part where we don't go because there's alligators. But it's pretty good. It's better than that You Got a Friend in Me stuff, if you ask me. So I would check it out. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. And also just shout out to Greystone Power. I'm excited to play for everybody back in the hometown and see some familiar faces, hopefully.
There you go. Well, Caleb, I appreciate your time and being with us today.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
That is all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us for episode number 26 of the Powerline Podcast. Make sure you come out and enjoy our annual meeting of members on Saturday, October 8th, starting at 8 a.m. You'll be able to hear Caleb perform and enjoy all the other activities, plus our business meeting. This has been the Powerline Podcast. Thanks for listening.